Welcome to a new video. Today I'm gonna talk about the things I wish I knew before studying physiotherapy. These are all things that I just wish someone would have told me to make a good decision, and I hope it is useful if you are deciding if to study or not to study this profession. And of course, this is just my experience and things that I think are important to know. If it seems like I talk about a lot of things in a not so very positive way, it's just as a precaution, and everyone's experience is different. So let's go for it. One, I call this the gray area of scientific evidence. What does this mean? This means that physiotherapy is not an exact science. So it's important to understand that, because a lot of times when you are researching and trying to guess which treatment is better over another and trying to understand what we are doing as a profession, a lot of times all the answers you see are just like there's not enough evidence to support the use of one treatment, or there's no difference between one treatment and placebo, or one treatment and no treatment. So a lot of times it's pretty frustrating. As a science field, research in physiotherapy is very difficult because it's quite complicated to do double blindings, which is having both the subject and the investigator not know who is applying or who is being applied the studied treatment, and that's a very big limitation of physiotherapy. And yeah, as I said, it's quite frustrating. So if you are someone that likes clear answers and that wants things to just work and know what the expected result out of something is and why, then probably physiotherapy and even healthcare aren't the best options. There's fields like biology, cellular biology, and such that are a bit clearer, but physiotherapy, as it is now pretty young and pretty limited, is not the most satisfying in that regard. Two, a big important one is that it's a people's profession. And what do I mean by this? You are gonna be treating people all the time. And a lot of us at first we see this as a good thing, because some of us, we are very social beings. We like being with people, we like treating people, we like helping people. But you need to know that a lot of people is gonna be very difficult to treat, in the sense that people are rude, people have different expectations from what they will actually achieve through physiotherapy, and there's no escaping it. Like most physiotherapy jobs, you're gonna have to deal with people all the time. And even those of us who are very social and really embrace this kind of work, it sometimes gets tiring. At some point, a lot of us, myself included, we hope we would have some time alone in the computer and not treat anyone, or even to like have remote work, but that is something that is very difficult in this profession. So you have to consider if you are someone who would prefer a job in which they are in silence at home or at the office and not deal with anyone and be kind of relaxed and kind of on their own, versus a job in which you are going to be every single day talking to people and every single day listening to people and what their issues are, etc. It can be really draining depending on your attitude. So think about it. If you are someone that gets frustrated by dealing with people, then I wouldn't recommend it for you. Three, another one is that it's very poorly paid. And of course, we all know this when we get into a healthcare profession. Of course, none of us get into it for the money, but it's extremely poorly paid. Like in some countries, in my country, I live in Europe, it is paid similarly to the most basic jobs in most physiotherapy positions. Of course, I'm not talking about elite jobs in sports clubs and private owned clinics, but the average job is really poorly paid, to the point where it doesn't make sense the investment in time and money into the degree compared to the salary you get. As I said, of course, none of us get into it for the money, but it's something really important to consider. Because if you value a lot having good quality on life and achieving financial goals early, then it's probably a better idea to work since you are young than to study this degree, which in a lot of cases is gonna carry debt and such, and it's a matter of frustration for a lot of people. Of course, being a degree, it allows you to emigrate to other countries that are better paid or that offer better conditions. It's definitely not worth the effort. Like most IT jobs and most commercial jobs are going to have higher salary, which is pretty frustrating considering the next point I'm going to talk about. And the next point is about clinical responsibility. And it's something that again happens in all healthcare professions, and it's not as bad as doctors have to face, but still every patient you treat, you're going to have some responsibility over them, which means that every single thing you do, you say, can affect someone's life in a bad way. It's a responsibility you have on everything you do. Every single treatment you apply, it can affect someone's life, and is the thing that matters the most about these professions. It's not that they are hard, physically demanding jobs, but they have some responsibility. So if you are someone that doesn't like to have any responsibility on their shoulders on people's lives, but not only on people's lives, but you can mess up in the sense that someone says you've done a treatment wrong when you haven't, or says that you have administered a technique in a wrong way. And those are problems you are going to have to deal with that you wouldn't have to deal with if you have a regular office job. So keep that in mind. That is something that is going to be over your shoulders, patient responsibility, and what you do with them. 5. Another one is that a big part of your workday is going to be spent doing things that have nothing to do with treatment. This means doing things like writing patients' clinical histories, like doing first time assessments, doing referrals, doing paperwork that isn't really treating people. A lot of times you are going to be spending more time writing what you've done more beautifully than what you've actually done. A lot of times you are just registering that you did a mediocre treatment, but that's because what the company requires, and you are gonna spend more time doing an actual decent treatment. 6. Then a big one, I call this the conflict in physiotherapy. This especially applies to musculoskeletal physiotherapy and has a lot to do with the expectations of people when coming to a clinic. A lot of times we are gonna have to discuss and argue with people about what their treatment should be. Some people come to physiotherapy rehab clinic expecting certain treatments, especially massage, but also cupping, certain machine work. There's very different expectations that people can have, and you have to deal with. You have to be playing a constant game in which you are trying to convince the patients which therapies are going to be useful for them and why. And being exercise the most fundamental one, it's gonna be the hardest to convince. This all depends on the kind of clinic you are working at. A lot of times it's easy, but depending on the setting, it's gonna be difficult, and sometimes you're gonna have to be applying techniques that you don't really want to, just because you have to do what the patient expects. So if you are expecting a profession in which you fully do what you want to do, then a lot of times it's gonna be really difficult. 7. Some patients will bond, and these are the kind of patients that will fully trust you and fully do what you tell them to do as long as it makes sense. These will be people that most of the time will improve because they just trust you and they just follow what you are doing, and that a lot of times is the biggest factor for improvement. People being convinced that what they are doing is going to be right for them, and those patient professional relationships are going to be really gratifying and really fun to work with because they allow you to be creative, they allow you to do the kind of treatments that you do, and they allow you to really reach the person and to achieve something that maybe another professional would not. You are applying and putting your own heart, your own personality, and your own creativity as a professional into one patient, and that is a very beautiful chance that this profession brings you. 8. You will have really cool knowledge that is very useful for daily life. You will learn from basic medicine to injury prevention, sports performance, nutrition, psychology, all those kind of fields. Plus, it gives you the tools and training to understand more about a given topic. And if you are someone that likes sports, that likes training, likes performance, as I said, likes basic medicine, it's a really good field of knowledge because it allows you to take a little bit of everything and research more into the topic you like the most. And it can be applied in a lot of different scenarios. I've used this knowledge in my own injuries, in my family members. It's really cool to be able to have someone ask you, is this useful? Does this work? Does this not work? What exercise can I do for this kind of pain? And having the answers without the need to look and to pay expensive price. So yeah, it's a really cool field of knowledge. 9. Another one would be weird family and friends relationship with the profession. A lot of friends, a lot of close people, a lot of family members are gonna ask for free consultations, free massages, free everything, and a lot of time people are gonna ask from you things that they won't ask other people that have different jobs. Same thing happens to other healthcare professionals, of course, but it's gonna be something that I find extremely common compared to other professions, besides maybe doctors. But people are gonna be asking out of you all the time things, and you are gonna be at a weird spot when you say yes, or maybe, or it depends, or I can't do this all this time for free because it's time of my free time. And it's gonna be a bit of a constant argument with people. But if you learn to work around this and to make people understand that it's your time you are using, and that same way you wouldn't make them work for free on a frequent manner, they can't expect the same thing. Usually it works, but you are gonna have sometimes weird conversations and relationships then. And then the last one is that it is a very social job. Same way a remote job is really hard. In this kind of job, you will be talking all day, or at least I am, and meeting lots of different people. You will be talking all day with patients. You will meet lots of cool people that will become friends afterwards. And also you will have a very close relationship with your colleagues, with which you will talk a lot more than the average person on an office setting, which is really good. And depending on the field you work, there will also be some interdisciplinary job, which can be really great or really frustrating at times. But in general, you will have a very close relationship with your colleagues. That is something not all jobs can say. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this was useful to have some ideas and some things that people don't usually say when you are planning on studying physiotherapy. As I said, this is just my opinion. If you have any question, feel free to ask in the comments down below.